Hello, everybody. It's Brian, organizer of SeaSec East and also of the podcast, Breaking Down Security. I do a lot of things here. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Just want to make sure the chat's working before we get started. I'm hoping for, thousands and thousands of people, but I know that it's probably not going to happen. But just want to make sure that people can chat in the stream chat. So I'm also not showing my screen because I'm using Zoom, which is how we normally do SeaSec East. And if people who've RSVP'd use the Zoom link, they'll pop on, and us security people are a bit scaredy cats about showing our faces in public. And I don't want people to have their pictures up on the internet without their permission. So I just want to make sure that we're all solid there. So if anybody is listening, send me a message in the chat. I would appreciate it. I welcome all of our new listeners. Let me put them up. Let me see. Cax IPS 06, Maddie Insun, and Nathan Cohagen. I apologize if I am ruining names. I do apologize for that if I'm not saying that correctly. I just got done having some green chicken, Thai chicken curry. That's what it was. So I'm a little phlegmy right now. I don't know why. I don't know if it's coconut milk or what, but I probably should go find some stuff for us to talk about just in case. Let me see. I'm trying to down a little water here to reduce my phlegminess here. So I just saw in the news, local news here in the Seattle area, there are mysterious blackouts happening in Taiwan right now. And I'm like, is it so mysterious? Blackouts. Blackouts reported across Taiwan. Yeah. Countries and cities across Taiwan began reporting unexplained power outages Thursday morning, which is March 3rd, so it's already tomorrow morning there. Taiwan Power Company personnel are currently investigating the cause. I don't know if they're trying to assume something or if it's just, it was big enough that the Seattle local news had said, they're having blackouts. So I don't know if it's because of potential hacking activity or what have you. Oh, there's Brian Morrow. He is coming online. Hold on. Hey, Brian Morrow. Can you unmute yourself and make sure that people can hear you?
I hear you loud and clear. How me?
Oh, good. Okay. I'm still learning how to do this with multiple people.
That's all right.
On Monday, I had Mr. Betcher get on with me, and he was on the chat, and he was like, "Oh, this is going to be awesome," or whatever. And I was like, "I can't hear you in the stream." So about 5 minutes after he left, I figured out what I did wrong. And I was like, hey, can you get back on? And 20 minutes later, I was like, nope, I'm in the shower. Oh, okay, great. And then I was like, are you texting in the shower? And yeah.
Well, it's okay. So I also have your Twitch up because I just signed into Twitch today for the first time because you said you were going to run that. And I don't know if you were online earlier today but it was like, I feel like, were you on earlier today on Twitch?
No, I'm still fairly new to this. So I did one on Monday, I did one on Tuesday, did one on Wednesday, and then this is the Wednesday one. I did one on Sunday as well. So don't watch the one from Sunday. It was awful. I felt like I was in a prison movie or something. But yeah, was it slow or something?
No, it was just, I was like, wait a second, someone's talking.
Yeah.
And then it was you. And I'm like, is something else going on?
Oh, that's cool. Can you type something in the stream chat? I just want to make sure we've got a number of people in there, but I just want to make sure I'm not being overzealous on the chat. No, not on Zoom chats, Twitch chat.
Oh, on the Twitch chat. Now that.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that it's working. Yeah, no worries.
I'm brand new to Twitch, so I was like, well, how do I talk to someone?
No, yeah, it's okay. This is an interesting experiment for us. I'm trying to do what we can to expand our reach, and I thought Twitch might be the best way to do it.
Yeah.
There aren't any real good ways of doing. I mean, people use like YouTube and stuff like that, which we, once I've decided we're going to do this regularly, we can simulcast this to our YouTube channel as well. But just, oh, okay, okay, good. I saw that. That's excellent. Thank you.
Yeah. I have to this VM.
Yeah. Cool. I appreciate that. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't being a little overzealous with the chat functions.
No.
They have filters and stuff in place, and I was afraid that they were causing too many issues. So
looks good.
Yeah. So how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I moved to Colorado in November. So.
Oh my.
Yeah. So I'm out here in the sunny day today.
Okay. Well, it was raining today. No, it's gonna be raining for a little bit longer here, and then it'll be sunny. But yeah.
We'll be back to snow on Sunday.
Oh my. Okay. All right. Yeah, I was just before you got on, I was mentioning our local station here had talked about power outages in Taiwan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Air raid sirens yet?
I don't believe so. They're saying confirmed a power outage has knocked out internet connectivity across much of Taiwan, including Taipei. Real-time network data showing national connectivity levels falling from 68% of ordinary levels to around 9 a.m. Incident is ongoing.
Wow.
They're not saying it's due to hacking, but something about a duck walking and talking. It's probably a duck.
Right.
But,
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it would be, I don't want to say an opportune time with the world, looking at other countries. But yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's just, yeah.
Well, were you in the military, right? You were in the military, right?
I was. I spent 7 years in the U.S. Navy. I wasn't a shipboard sailor. I spent most of my time on shore installations, but yeah.
Oklahoma City.
No, I did great mistakes for boot camp, and then I went down to Biloxi for A school, for Rographer's mate school, weather observer, and then one of the instructors, I had made a comment to one of my instructors. I taught myself batch programming on DOS, and he said, "Oh, you know computers. You should go to Monterey, California." And so I went to a numerical weather modeling station called FNMOC over there, FNMOC.
Yeah.
And they do no gaps and coamps and weather modeling for the Navy using supercomputers. And then I went to Diego Garcia and then came back to San Diego. So,
ooh, fun spot.
Well, I was on Diego Garcia during September 11th. So I was about a month from leaving, and it was about 8 o'clock at night, and I happened to turn on the Today Show, and saw the second plane crash into the World Trade Center, and I was like, oh shit. And about 5 minutes later, my chief calls and says, "You need to get to the office because somebody needs to stand watch for the whole night because the island's on alert." And I'm like, oh damn. So that was my September 11th and 12th. So yeah, that was what I was doing. Yeah.
I showed up to the squadron, and I was like, went into the lounge, and it's like, oh, a plane hit the World Trade Center. That's kind of weird. Well, I got to teach class, and so I went in to teach class on surface to air attack tactics for the F-15, and I'm like looking out the window, and all hell was breaking loose outside the window as I'm teaching this class. And I come out after an hour and a half, and it's like a little bit different than when I went in.
Canceled class that day, I guess. Rest of the day. So,
exactly.
Yeah. Yep. So for those of you watching the stream and you're like, there's nothing going on, we're on a Zoom call because when you join our Meetup, traditionally for the last 5 years, if you RSVP, you get a Zoom link. So you can join our Zoom, which has Brian and Brian. He actually spells his name correctly.
Yes.
Once I get clearance from the people who will show up for the Zoom that they can they don't want to be on it or be on it, I will fix the Zoom so that somebody at least will be on the screen. So, but for everybody's privacy, and I don't want to show people's faces without them necessarily wanting to be shown. So, if anybody has any questions and they're watching the stream, feel free to ask them, or if you've got any thoughts or concerns or anything. What are we going to do with this? That kind of thing. So we got some users in chat already, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, it's hard to find news that isn't, hey, Russia, malware, and Ukraine. Obviously, but I mean, it's like trying to find stuff that isn't about that is a little rough. So I was trying to do some searching for some long form articles, trying to find some. One of the things I posted yesterday, because it's pretty much me, because I can't expect Mr. Betcher, Miss Berlin to be on the entire time where I'm doing every one of these at like 5:30 in the evening or something before my days are over. Oh, there's Donald G and Louie. Hello, Louie. Hello, Donald G. Please feel free to unmute yourselves.
Hi, my name is Louie, and it's my first time here, and thank you for having me.
Sure. Glad you could join us. Donald G, how you doing?
Hi there. I'm doing fine.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, we're streaming this, and I understand if there's Walter. Hey, Walter.
I joined the Twitch.
Oh, very cool.
But it told me I'm not yet followed you long enough to be able to comment.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
There's a 10-minute waiting period.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to work on that. My thing was, and apparently there's been a rash of incidents with users in chat. So we'll give it a few minutes. Oh, okay. Thank you for following me, though, Walter. I appreciate that. Walter's one of our longtime members of SeaSec East. What I'm trying to do is figure out how I can just show myself without showing everyone else. That would be nice. We don't have a speaker tonight. Normally we do speakers. We have somebody who'll come on and give us a discussion about something, whether it be cloud-based, pen testing, or just, talking about legal issues or anything like that with regards to security. So I'm trying to explain for Walter, I'm, trying to explain the idea of the stream here. So gallery, yeah, Zoom's a little restricted in what it can do.
It seems like the Twitch feed is about a minute or so behind.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Having, never been a part of a stream at the same time, seeing it in the back end. I didn't know what I would see. All I know is that it makes my computer fan run really, really hard, and the discrete graphics that I've added to my i9 laptop here, my Yoga i9.
Well, turn off your mining Bitcoin.
Oh, if only it were that simple. But I mean, I'm rendering things, and my laptop has definitely been getting a workout the last month and a half, learning how to do all this stuff and creating overlays and splicing audio and video together, and just the sheer magnitude of the work that I've been trying to do to make this happen and not suck completely. So
you don't do that.
It's taken me about 6 months just to get to this point. So a lot of is this going to be good or is this not going to be good? So the good thing is it only took me 6 months for this. It took me almost a year for the podcast when I first started it. So let me see what else. Cloud security platform must-haves.
Speaking of podcasts,
yeah, what's up?
I'm going to put out a recommendation for a podcast from our fellow DC 5253.
Okay.
There's one of the gals in there, whose handle is Mick Classy, is doing an Atlantis podcast. Called Reimagining Atlantis.
Okay, Reimagining Atlantis.
And I found her doing a really good job at it because she's going back to the original Romans and Greeks
Uh-huh.
and trying to figure out, okay, so the folks who actually first documented and talked about Atlantis, what did they have to think about it? And kind of moving forward from a not just, the bad Disney movie, but rather a historical overview from the beginning.
Right.
And so far, it's been an enjoyable podcast. So I recommend it.
Okay. Well, I think I happened to find it. Mary Tory is the name of the person.
Yes.
Okay.
That's her actual name.
She made a post on r/Atlantis and said, "Hey, I created a podcast." So there you go. There you go. So yeah, look at the lost city of Atlantis through the eyes of an impassioned hobbyist. I have over 20 years of research into ancient history and mythology, and have absorbed greedily any and all information, could even whisper Atlantis. Hey, there's Ted Zimmers. Okay. Hey, Ted.
She's on the DC 253 Discord.
Okay. Very cool.
Which is where I met her.
All right.
So to speak.
Hello, Ted, Matt. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
All right. Not too bad. So technically the show starts at 7:00, so that's great. The meetup starts at 7:00. I'm streaming this on Twitch, but I don't have any pictures or anything up, so I'm not like showing the Zoom overlay or anything on the stream. I know that some people are a little leery of their pictures being shown without permission, so I'm trying to be nice about it. So I'll turn at least mine on here in the next 20-30 minutes, but I'll have to figure out how to do that so that I don't show everyone else. What does it look like if I did it now? Oh yeah, it's a hot mess. Okay. Let me see what I can do to get myself back up in here. Oh wait, I gotta do that. We're doing it live. There we go. There's me. Okay. Now, of course, when somebody else comes on, it'll all be, messed up. But there we go. That's quick and dirty. There we go. Okay. And I will do what I can to bring up the... Let's see. Okay, reimagining Atlantis. Done. All right. So there's the reimagining Atlantis. Walter had mentioned that somebody on the DC 253 list or Discord is starting a podcast about Atlantis. So Brian, the other. Okay, very nice.
So it looks like you're up on Twitch video-wise with like a reverse image, basically mirror image.
Yeah, I was able to splice out everyone except myself and Matt. Matt is not on there either. So as other people show up, it'll obviously change. The problem with Zoom is that it's not. It won't keep me in one place. It'll keep moving me around, which is a pain in the ass. So
doesn't bother me. So whatever.
Yeah, but that's something I realized when I was playing around with all this stuff. So. So just a heads up for everybody who might be listening, Saturday we are going to have at least a 4-hour stream. Joe Gray, for those of you who don't know Joe Gray, he is the owner of the organization called Ascension, OSINTION. He teaches OSINT techniques to people who aren't bad, and helps in things like missing person CTFs. He's won the first annual DerbyCon CTF. We've had him on the show a few times talking about stuff like this. He wants to, and when he asked me, I said yes. There was no hesitation. I said, yeah. When are we going to do this? When are we going to make this happen? So there's going to be a 4-hour Twitch stream that I'm going to be doing with him. We're going to have people from InfoSec, the InfoSec community, coming on to talk about various things. But we're also raising money for Ukraine. In this case, it's an organization called Nova Ukraine. And we're not gonna take any of the donations directly because they already have a page up for that. But it is an organization, and I'm going to be able to type this properly. Ukraine. Oh my God, I suck at typing. It's a nonprofit supporting Ukraine humanitarian aid. He's been told by people in Kyiv that this is a good NGO, and I'm going to put it out here right now. If you want to donate to this, I know a lot of organizations. Microsoft is going to be donating up to $5 million in matching. A friend of mine said that Amazon is also doing something similar. So if you have if your company is doing matching donations, you can donate with PayPal, or you can do Facebook donate. I believe you can also use credit cards down here, maybe. Oh no, you just use PayPal that, or they'll even take your crypto. So if you've got Dogecoin, or you've got Bitcoin, or you want to give away something, that is definitely an option for those of you that want to help out with Kyiv and Ukraine. So we're going to be doing it for 4 hours on Friday. I think we're going to start around 4:00 in the afternoon Pacific time, but we'll be doing more announcements later on, but we're working out the CFPs right now. It's just kind of a quick and dirty CFP. Hey, do you want to help? Yeah, good. I don't want to tell anybody's names because I don't know who's committed so far yet, but it's myself and Joe at least. And, if worst comes to worst, we'll just sit here and shoot the stuff and do some OSINT related items. So, but the others, they talk about their 501c3. So you get your tax donations from that if you want to. There's their EIN. They're donated to raising awareness about Ukraine in the U.S. and throughout the world and providing humanitarian aid to Ukraine. So we are very happy about doing this. They do a lot of cool stuff like translating technical books to into Ukrainian. They also they promote Ukrainian cinema. Okay. But they're also taking donations for education purposes and medical help. So there you go. novaukraine.org, and you can go and donate if you'd like. And but we are definitely all in on that. When he said yes, we want to do something, I was like, hell yeah, I want to do something. I'm not going to grab a gun and go over there and try to play Red Dawn, but even in the Navy, I was always working a logistical or support role, and if there's anything I can do to help raise money or for humanitarian aid, I'm all in on that. So I'm probably going to open up a bid of $500 myself and make sure that they can get something for that. So cool. So from the gathered host here, since we're technically within our 7:00 Pacific time window, this is one of the things I wanted to bring up. So, of course, there's war going on. It's not geopolitical instability. It is war. And there has been numerous discussions about attacks in the cyber realm, both from the Ukraine. I apologize for saying it's not it's Ukraine and Russia. Did anybody's organizations come to you or suggest adding any new technology after this all started? And what was your management's reaction to this issue? With the idea of the media saying, "Oh, Russian cyber attacks are up," or what was the meetings like on Monday and Tuesday for this stuff? Don't all talk at once. It's very, very good. Nobody had any issues. It was just business as usual. It's like there was nothing going on.
Yeah, actually, it's pretty much
Wow.
business as usual.
I
There
would
was
have
some,
expected. I would have expected somebody to go, "Oh no, something bad's happening. We need to implement 2FA now," or something like that. I would have expected, something like that. So
no, I didn't see anything like that.
okay, okay. Yeah, we. I don't know. I don't know if any of your companies have QA or developers in Ukraine or anything like that. But yeah, we've had obviously we're not trying to force them to work when they're trying to flee or fight. So we're being cognizant of that. We're adjusting timetables for app and releases of software and devices and stuff, making sure that we do what we can to help them out and to take whatever we can off their plate. So we've I've actually tried, I've actually started making test cases. I'm PM, but I've started making some test cases for testing some items that we needed to have pushed out, and updating some documentation in that respect. So I mean, we've been impacted, but hopefully this will be fairly soon. But yeah, we didn't have any major issues. I mean, we already had 2FA and everything in, and we have a IR team and teams that are watching our perimeter for an increase in malicious or malignant activities. So hey Brett, how you doing? Welcome to the meetup. So yeah, okay, I put the link in the chat there for everybody. You can look at it. Let's see what kind of crypto they take. Okay, so Coinbase, so they take Bitcoin, USD coin, what? Okay. Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, oh, wow, they take Doge. Well, it is 13 times better than the Russian ruble right now, so yeah. Yeah, and something called DAI. So there you go. If you have Coinbase, you can pay with another wallet, if you will. So there you go. Okay. Yes, I wish to cancel this payment because I don't have any of those to give. I do have some Ethereum in my PayPal account, but I doubt if I've made any cash on that when I bought it. I tend to buy high and then, sell low. So like my Dogecoin. So I think I bought Doge at like 50 cents or something. It's at like 13 now. So yeah. Let me see some of the things. Oh yeah, Conti ransomware decryptor. That one was interesting. I haven't read all the way through Conti yet, but apparently source codes were leaked. Ransomware decryptor occurred. Pro-Ukraine member of the Conti ransomware gang who promised to eviscerate extortionists has spilled more Conti guts. Dump includes source code for the ransomware, TrickBot malware, a decryptor, and the gang's administrative panels, among other core secrets. Man, that person in Ukraine or pro-Ukraine is doing some good work there.
Didn't they make like over $2 billion in the last several years? Did anybody see that? Like one of their wallets, like over time, had $2 billion worth of Bitcoin in it or something.
I don't know. I know that they've, it seems like every week there's a new gang of folks out there. So, but yeah, CyberArk researchers enumerated the leaked content and why it's important. The intel is vital as Russian tanks roll through Ukraine and cyber attacks fly in support. Analysis to a cybersecurity bulletin issued over the weekend by CISA and the FBI. Yeah. Great. Yeah, we're aware. Good job, CISA. You're right on the ball. Attacks could, spill over into other borders. Yeah, okay. Let me make that a little bigger here. There we go. Yeah, boy, if you remember if you have access to VX Underground, you'll have some interesting stuff to discuss. So, yeah, admin panel code. Yeah, they've been owned right and proper there. It looks like, yeah. It's a shame.
Has anybody looked at any of that data yet?
I don't have time, and I'm worried about being infected or infecting myself accidentally because I don't have the wherewithal or the resources to do that. So, if you want to take the time to do it, Matt, I wouldn't hate on it. We could do it here on the stream. You know,
some of their stuff before. I looked at their manual, convert. Like I opened it in a VM and everything. It was a PDF. But it was pretty interesting when that leaked a while ago, like their hacking guide or whatever that they used internally. It'd be interesting to see this whole.
You know what? I seem to remember Risky Business talking about that stuff, and it wasn't just the manual on how to use the stuff, but it was also like their onboarding procedures or something like that, right? How do you how
I think so. I don't remember that part, but it was pretty similar to like the documentation that like I have for doing that legally. But
what kills me is that they often have better documentation than real companies do. They're actually they are a real company. They just happen their business is evil or whatever. So it's kind of funny. So TTPs, here you go. According to threat posts, they're TTPs, Active Directory enumeration, SQL database enumeration by SQL command, how to gain access to Shadow Protect SPX backups, how to create NDTS dumps versus VSS admin, and how to RDP over port 1350. Oh, good. It's good. It's good to see Metasploit and Cobalt Strike are, still the tools of choice for ransomware gangs. So, and Mimikatz. Oh, good. Good. I was worried that we wouldn't have any legit softwares in there. It's one thing I've got issues with. I mean, yeah. I don't want to scare people off with talking about legitimate good guy software being used for evil. So. Oh yeah, training materials. Here you go. Leaked documents containing training materials, including videos of online courses in Russian, as well as how-tos about all these various things. Okay. It's just a nice, nice quick, get your OSCP without getting your OSCP, I guess. So that was a good article. I have to go back and read through the rest of that. So. Let's see. Yeah. Swiss Bank. See anything else interesting? Privacy Shield 2 is defunct. Yeah. I remember Privacy Shield. That was funny. So let me ask you a question while I'm searching through my news here. We got this stream. We got to do something with it. Every week we'll do a podcast and post up something. We've got an interview coming up this weekend about security automation and CI/CD automation. With something like this, what should we do with it? Should we do study groups, book clubs? Somebody had already reached out to me and asked if we were going to have a CISSP study group. I don't hate on that. I've done CISSP study groups. We're trying to coordinate with other nonprofits like Black Girls Hack and others like that about doing some content. But since Matt had his camera on, I'm going to pick on him. What would you like to see from a stream like this? What would make you come to see this stream?
It's different than like what we've been doing with like the normal monthly meetings, or.
Right. I mean, ideally, I would like to use this to do other things. I mean, we can use the Zoom and whatever, but I mean, obviously, Twitch is not. I wouldn't say this isn't their milieu. I mean, a lot of people make thousands and thousands of dollars by just playing video games on here. But ideally I'd like to, reach the masses with security information and educate. What would be something that would make you want to turn in or even participate?
I'll chime in.
Okay.
Tool use.
Okay.
Netcat, Nmap, Metasploit.
Okay.
Just kind of basic tool usage.
Okay. I don't hate
And
that.
I have to, I have a little bit of an ulterior motive because I'm doing the UW ethical hacking course, but it is kind of nice to be able to go through some of these tools and how to use them.
Right. I'm sorry, you said the UW ethical hacking course.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did the cybersecurity certificate last year, and then I decided to do the follow-on ethical hacking course.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay.
So
tell me about the ethical hacking course. Do they tell you by the end of this you should be able to go get your OSCP or your security plus?
I don't think it's not really oriented to be able to get the certificate. It's
right.
Weird because in some respects it kind of assumes a little bit of knowledge, which that's okay. But then it's kind of like throw you in the swimming pool and see if you can swim. So
right.
So, and then when you go search things or you read books, it's kind of like you feel like you find the same exact information over and over again. So
right.
That's my input. Just maybe a little bit of some tool usage. Concepts to go behind that.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. There's, okay, I've got that down. I can do that. I was thinking. Go ahead.
I was saying that's been pretty popular. I think there's a lot of people doing like a hack the box, but you could do some kind of like variation on that maybe is different somehow. Like, maybe not like do it in like a test environment that's kind of unique or something. But.
Okay.
Actually, I'd like to second the tool use, but for blue team tools instead of red team. There's always stuff for red team. Seems like there's never anyone doing blue team tool demonstrations.
What if you did both at the same time?
Yeah.
So you do the red team tool, and then my last job we had like a lab, and there was like detection and stuff, and because we would want to know like what is this trigger, and what does it look like, and you could set something up and like, hey, let's do an attack, and once you like if you're doing password spraying or if you're doing whatever, like you could launch it and then you could have some kind of logging or sim or something that picks it up and show like each part. It's pretty interesting to look at it that way because a lot of times like on the offense side you may not see that, and on like vice versa on the defense side it's
right. Yeah, one of the sites I had mentioned in one of my previous streams was Kitploit. Actually follow their RSS feed. They have a ton of stuff on here. I mean, I don't know how they find this stuff, but they are constantly finding tools online that are free or a freemium model or something like that. So, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff here that can be used for blue team kind of items. I mean, here's a PHP web shell, open source framework for executables. I mean, some of this stuff is strictly for pen testing and what have you, but they also, you can test your APIs and web, security stuff. The big thing is it's like the bell on the cat. Who's going to put the bell on the cat? I'm a filthy PM, so me trying to set this stuff up would probably be painful. So trying to figure out how to do this so that I can do it correctly. And in a way that would work. I mean, I'm all in on the war games and the hack the box stuff, and my mentee actually that I'm going to be working with here in a few weeks on some streams. His name's AJ. I think I invited him to this, but we're going through the try hack me stuff. So we both have accounts, and I'm going through the junior pen tester stuff just like he is, so that way we can understand the content and work through it. So we have I think our first session with him is on Monday, on the 8th or whatever. So we're going to, do a stream going through some of that stuff. He's a firefighter in Chicago, so he's looking to try to get into security. And so we're going to do some stuff there. So, but yeah, I like that. We can definitely do some Vuln stuff. I still am friends with IPP over there and probably could get a, well, that's lovely. Fake logon screen, fake Windows logon screen to steal passwords. Man, jackasses, complete jackasses. Well, I guess if it works, we still have our the BrakeSec Slack still has their. I believe our lab is still available on Hack the Box. So they take machines that have been recently retired and put them in our private lab so that we can play with them without having 15 other people break them down. So this is kind of cool. This UW ethical hacking thing. The problem is it's like $4,100. I mean, that's I'm not saying that's Sans course level cost, but I mean, I'm hoping that they.
I have a good company.
That's cool. No, I get it. I'm just like I worry that you'll pay $4,000 for a ethical hacking course, and it if you can use it and pivot directly to getting your OSCP or some other certification that is more industry recognizing, that would be good. I mean, just
I agree.
The information alone would be good. So there you go. Perfect. Space out learning over the year, give you flexibility for the job. Very cool. Okay. Very nice. Daniel Herrera. Name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's the instructor right now.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Well, cool. Well, I mean, I guess you could do it online, can't you? Or do you have to be in ass in a seat?
No, they kind of started doing hybrid before pandemic,
Okay.
and then with pandemic, they pretty much went all online. So
very
that
nice.
makes it actually really. I don't notice any degradation in instruction or training.
That's cool. Okay. Well, there you go. If you're looking for an ethical hacking course that might has some teeth to it potentially, yeah, go and check that out. All right, let me see what else. Anybody have anything they want to talk about? Any topics? Anything of note? Donald, Louis, Brett, anything?
Just here to listen what you guys talk to about cybersecurity, because I'm in a position that's trying to pivot into this field, coming from IT. So
Okay.
Yeah, I do agree about tools, because it's overwhelming for me, even though, I mean, once you get a hold of it, it's self-explanatory, but you having the right tool, why do they know this is the right tool? Maybe they heard it from somebody else. So those type of things.
Right. So what kind of tools do you currently use on Louis?
I'm actually in between jobs.
Oh, okay. Are you looking at what's your next job looking at? Are you looking in more of an IT role or a SOC analyst or?
Well, that's the thing. I gave myself like 6 months to upskill, and targeted January, only to realize that it's equally tough to get into cyber, even though you're in this boot camp. There's job placement after, but nope, you're on your own.
Oh, did they promise you job placement but didn't?
Something like that.
Oh,
They
what's this company?
job placement.
What's this company?
What's that?
They need to be name and shamed.
I'm still with them. Rapid Ascent.
Rapid Ascent. Mm.
I'm still with them. I mean, our cohort is still intact. Although, I mean, not intact because I have like one decided to quit because of the uncertainty.
Right.
But I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot.
Yeah. When you have to finish the course before you can start using the job placement services?
No, I mean, they said that on the second quarter, which in our case started January, we will start like talking to companies, to their partner companies, to start the process of apprenticeship. So,
okay.
It's March now.
Oh, and they haven't started yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, so that's why I mean, the technology that they teach us, it's very interesting. I love it, but is there a guarantee that my next job will require? I mean, like Yara. I mean, does my
Right.
next job ask for it? Those type
Right.
of things.
Right. Okay. So Yara. Okay.
Well, I mean, we've touched a lot. So,
Right.
and from IT, I mean, it's easy for me to understand and to figure out what the tool is about. But
Right.
it's just, how did you know, or why did you use this, or those type of things, those type of questions.
Right. Are y'all using things like Kali Linux or some kind of pen testing
Yeah.
Linux distro? Okay, so okay. I have thoughts about Kali Linux, but that it won't make me popular. I stopped using it because it was too complicated and too bloated. I think
Very stable.
Well, we've
Is
used a
it?
lot of
Is it?
Linux.
Has it gotten
Oh.
better?
Not. No, it's not. It's better. I mean, I used it since like Backtrack, but
Right.
I know the guy that does Daemon Linux. I used to work with him. That's
Okay.
the way that he's built. That's actually more stable. But I
Right.
still use Kali all the time.
Right.
It's a
Yep.
nightmare.
Yeah, my thing with Linux, Kali Linux, when I would run it into VM, is every 2 or 3 months I'd end up having to blow it away and downloading the ISO again and downloading 4 gigabytes worth of updates. It was almost like playing a video game that wasn't as fun. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Louis, you mentioned Yara rules. Are they working you towards a specific type of curriculum? Are they like, at the end of this, you're going to be able to be a SOC analyst, or at the end of this, you're going to be able to do incident response, or you're going to be able to, analyze logs and, do threat intelligence? I mean, what is the goal of the cohort that you're in right now?
Well, this is the what do you call, this is the quarter that we decide which path do we need to go into. But there's a lot of uncertainty. It changed, so we are touching a lot of things again. Like, not all in my cohort wants to go into like pen testing or do SOC. A few of them wants to do GRC.
Right.
So, I mean, for me, like, whatever comes first, because I'm in this situation wherein I declined an offer way back, and now I'm kind of in panic mode. Whatever comes first. If it's GRC, then yeah, I'll make myself like an expert, or no, knowledgeable,
Right.
with whatever GRC folks do.
Yeah. I don't want to tell you effed up by not taking that offer. At least you take the offer just to pay the bills.
Oh yeah, that was before. That was before this class started,
I
and
see.
I didn't know at that time that I mean, they can work around my schedule. I didn't
Right.
know that. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you're working in IT now. What have you?
no, I'm not working in IT.
Oh.
I work in IT.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what your resume looks like, but being in IT, you're already doing security. It's just you have to understand, if
Yeah.
being able to, communicate that effectively, I think is probably the biggest thing that I see a lot of folks who want to break into security. They don't know how to write they have issues writing things in such a way that, it shows that they've done, vulnerability management or network access controls or, your IT defends. They are blue team, whether or not security blue team people believe that. But yeah, it seems like there's ways to already be in security. So do you? I don't want to say do you live in an area that is conducive to work, but I mean most companies should be able to do remote work. But they're as we're heading back into being butts and seats. Are you in an area that has a lot of security or IT? Big somewhat of an urban area, or are you out in the middle of nowhere?
Yeah. I'm local here in Seattle.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
Do we have audience outside Seattle here?
Well, we are virtual, so any friendly time zone I think would work. I know Walter's here in the Seattle area, and I want to say Ted is as well.
Yep.
Okay.
And I was in Seattle, but now I'm in Denver. So.
Oh yeah, he's over there with the hated Broncos. Boo.
Yes, go Broncos.
Hated Broncos.
Hey Brian, can I chip in a couple of cents here?
I'm sorry.
Can I chip in a couple of cents here? Or does my headset suck?
Yeah, you're sounding all right. Yeah, feel free to jump in if you want.
So yeah, I was a lifetime sysad to Unix, Linux primarily, and I ended up on the GRC side. And frankly, I kind of dig like where I sit in the compliance chain. Like, is a lot of trying to figure out how in the hell we turn the compliance into actual things we do on the machines, which, when it exists, is kind of a cool spot to hit. Right.
Yeah. I did healthcare audits and PCI audits, and there's a, and I wish John was here. John was our PCI guy, and we hated him because it was a my way or the highway kind of thing for him. But there is sometimes a black and a white on that. It's like, you must do X or you must do Y, or you can be the compliance person that doesn't reads the intent of the rule instead of saying, well, your passwords must be 8 characters, upper, lower number, special. You can have a password that is 15 characters long with an upper, lower number and special, but you can explain the intent of what they're trying to do versus implementing the thing that they say to do. He used to get pissed off when I would say this compliance is bar minimum or min bar for security. You can always go beyond that. He was never interested in going beyond the bare minimum for PCI. He was like, well, what's the point? And I'm like, you don't get it. PCI, everybody who's been breached there's always been something wrong. PCI is like, today we're good with PCI, tomorrow we're not secure, that kind of thing. That's the thing I have with some compliance frameworks. It's like people only want to do what's, the checkbox kind of stuff. It's like min bar kind of stuff. So, but
And I've never played with the PCI stuff, but the NIST stuff that I have played with, 171, 53, primarily, that is often a lot less, you shall do it this way and only this way. Right. It's far more, this or that, and it both will do the job we need it to do, come up with one of them that you're going to do.
Right.
So that's, like I said, that it's a very interesting place to hang out.
Yep. Yeah. And, I would say GRC is fairly stable because just like security, it's not going anywhere, and if anything, it's expanding. So, you've always got a new version of the NIST documents coming. I think, what was it, 800-53 just came out with Rev 5 just recently.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. I've been looking at a lot 800-213, which is the IoT security stuff that they just put out. That's kind of my bag now is IoT security.
And
what I love is the interview they did with one of the original NIST security folk and asked him how he came up with the password rules.
Right.
He said, it was simple. I went and asked my coworkers and a couple other folks I knew. So what are you doing? He said, oh, well, we have 8-character passwords and we have a 90-day rollover.
Yeah.
So they implemented that as this is how we do it, not because they actually sat down and studied it, but because they asked a couple of friends, so how are you doing it? And of course, this was 30 years ago, but they're like, some of the NIST stuff, it's like, yeah, if you're still living on the NIST from 20 years ago, you might want to remember that there was kind of a best guess as to how it might work. And that if you're not following up on a regular basis, you're ignoring all the learning that's gone on in the last 20 years.
Yeah. The way I had heard it, and I don't know if this is true or not. I just bought domains. What? Oh my God. Anyway, the idea was that 8 characters was upper lower number special. It provided enough entropy for the computers at the time that by the time they ran through all the permutations of upper lower number special in 8 characters, it would be about 90 days. That was the way I heard it. I don't know if that's correct. Don't quote me on that. But that was what I understood it to be. And then, of course, then we ended up with GPU hacking or distributed, hash cracking and whatever. And it cut the time down, which is why they decided maybe we need longer passwords instead of, upper lower number special requirements or something like that, or hieroglyphs and emojis and, runic functions and stuff. I've heard numerous different ways of why the upper lower number special thing became a deal. So, so Louis, when are you supposed to finish this cohort thing? Because it sounds like you should be already looking for a job, not waiting for you to graduate for this thing. So, are you currently looking for positions?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Okay.
With the challenge that I'm getting, landing a cybersecurity position, I might end up going back to my old job or my old title, doing the same thing.
Well, the one thing I will say is Seattle is not the easiest place to live. If you could go back to that old job just to pay the bills while you're continuing looking, I would do so. On the few times that I've ever been unemployed, I have taken jobs with the idea that if, the other ones that I've been interviewing for come back and I'm good, I can leave, because it used to, the idea of, loyalty and stuff. I lost it about 3 jobs ago when I realized that, I can, bleed for this company, but they won't bleed for me. And so if you go back to your old job, you've got a paycheck, you have security, you at least be able to make rent and food and, eat good things and still continue your classes and what have you. And then once you find that security job, once you've graduated from this rapid ascent thing, move along. Or, tell your current company, hey, I've got this thing, pay me more money or I'm out. That kind of thing. There's other ways of doing this. And I mean, the last thing you want is to, have an issue where you won't be able to finish the rapid ascent courses, because you have to find a job or whatever. So, if I'm not saying go back to that job unless it was just caustic and toxic, but, we often have to make those kinds of choices. So, but yeah. Do you have a LinkedIn somewhere or something we can look at? Not here directly on the stream, but I mean, do you have something you can post it in the Zoom chat if you'd like?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just
I do.
broke that. There we go. Okay. The other thing I have with the overlays is if you don't play nice with it, then you lose it. So, yeah, we we can take.
So say what?
Yeah, we can take a look at it. I can send you an invite to the BrakeSec Slack. We have career advice and a job board there. We can definitely get you some career advice help and maybe take a look at your resume and stuff.
Awesome, thank you.
Sure.
I'm still trying to figure out. Oh, maybe share my profile. Crap, no.
Yeah. Okay, well, I don't agree with this one here. This is an interesting news story from HelpNet Security. Security leaders want legal action for failing to patch Log4j. Who is this supposed leader? And 87%. Okay, so they sent out a survey, and people are hurt, and they want to feel bad. All right. So virtual patching to handle O-days. I'm trying to figure out if they mentioned somebody specifically. Okay, nope. Okay, so they sent out a survey. IT and security teams working holidays, protect infrastructure and data following reevaluation of supply chain practices and purchasing decisions. A significant number of respondents also moved to reevaluate existing vendor relationships, of course, and said the vulnerability reduced their trust in open source tools. Did it? Seriously? Did it? Did Log4j ruin your trust in open source tools? Anybody here? Yeah. It's the same thing I said. It's like
No.
They said that as they opened their Chrome browser on their Linux desktop while they, booted up their Kali Linux build with Metasploit on it, and no more trust. I don't trust anything anymore. So I think people just forget exactly how much open source they have to deal with on a regular basis. I mean, Zoom uses FFmpeg. Streamlabs definitely uses FFmpeg. I mean, and it is built.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. Yeah,
I've heard one person go extreme and say, the only people who actually support proprietary software are the people selling you the proprietary software. Everybody else is like, it works really well and it lets us do stuff. And yeah, the Microsoft opinion of the 90s isn't exactly a popular today, but
yeah,
there's a small number of companies.
I'm still trying to find where they said they want legal action for failing to patch. 61%. New Star International Security Council. Never heard of them. Fielded attacks.
Got to be the Lawyers Association.
Yeah, the lawyer, the National Ambulance Chasers League or whatever.
If you opened up that can of worms that you failed to patch something.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God.
Now I could see it if it was an insurance organization not wanting to pay the insurance that some company thought, $100 million insurance policy against ransomware or vulnerabilities, and then the insurance company's like, I just had to pay $100 million because somebody didn't patch their shite. So, I mean, you could argue due diligence and due care there, if you're not patching your stuff or, not vetting your vendors properly, you're taking on additional risks that the insurance company maybe doesn't want or, you shouldn't be taking on. So I could definitely see something like that. DDoS attacks. 84% of enterprises have been on the receiving end of DDoS attacks. 84% of how many? That's is it 84% of 5 companies or, 850 companies, 84%? That makes a huge difference in this. It doesn't exactly say how many. That's the problem I have with fake articles like this. It's like how many companies were,
you should never be
surveyed
able
here?
to say a percentage of something unless it's the absolute percentage.
Right. Yeah, 75% is huge if it's 750 out of 1,000, but if it's 3 out of 4 and there was only 4 companies that replied to this thing, it's no good. I'm sure if we looked up NIST's website, they would tell us how many organizations responded, but yeah. Okay, so that was a crap article. I apologize for people looking at that one. Yeah. Let's go over and look at the chat window. Okay, nope.
Oh, so I just got, you mentioned earlier, the survey from the employer about a work from home versus hybrid versus work at the office.
Oh, yeah?
And kind of, what do you want to do? What's your opinion?
Yeah.
And the director came back and said, "Oh, by the way, do you know the vice president reorganized us so that we actually, technically, our home office is Chicago, not Tacoma."
Oh, wow.
Because the vice president works out of the Chicago office. And so he classified all of his sub-employees as Chicago employees, which means apparently I've been working, not only have I been working remote because of the pandemic, but when things go, quote, back to normal, I will still be working remote because apparently my home is now Chicago and not Tacoma. Well,
you'll be able to maybe take a quarterly flight to Chicago to hang out with the upper crusts there or something, maybe.
If I actually, they probably would, because the directors have actually flown back to have meetings every once in a while. But
the problem I've got with Chicago is thunderstorms. They always seem to have thunderstorms at pretty much the worst time you want to fly. So last couple times I actually flew before the pandemic. I actually flew from Seattle to Vegas and then Vegas out to Louisville or to other places. Tried to stay my connecting flight like Phoenix or something like that where it was less likely to be delayed by weather. But hey, you could fly to Chicago for every once in a while. I've actually been asked
that once the spring or comes around, and
that's cool. Yeah, I've been asked to fly down to the Bay Area to talk to my company once or twice in the next few months. So, and also go down to headquarters, which is in LA area. So my boss is in the Bay Area and the company is in LA. So, which it's fine for me. I'm going to be moving to San Diego in about 15 months, so I'm all in on that. I'll be able to drive up to LA if I wanted to go to the office, so that's pretty cool.
Well, what I want is I want to wait for them to open up the new office. They apparently renovated the old post office, and it's supposed to be really nice.
Okay.
But it's not available for people to go in it yet, so if
I
might as well go.
I have no interest in going into the office here in Seattle. It's I share a lovely space with about 15 other people that I don't know. So not feeling it. So plus I have meetings from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the afternoon, and it's going to take me 45 to 50 minutes to drive to the offices in Seattle. So it's like, I'm not going to do that.
Oh, yeah. So. Well, actually, funny enough, I've actually started driving to the office once a month.
Yeah, but your office is in Tacoma, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's I don't want to say it's not the same, but it's like there's a difference between driving down to South Lake Union versus Tacoma. So,
well, actually, the reason I do it is because the DC 253 has a monthly Meetup at Devil's Reef in downtown
Devil's
Tacoma.
Reef. Okay.
It's a rum tiki bar.
I see. Okay.
And I'm not driving. It starts at 6 or something p.m.
Right.
I'm not driving to Tacoma at 5 p.m. on a Friday night to go drinking.
Yeah.
Because the traffic sucks. But
Yeah.
if I drive to Tacoma at noon on Friday over my lunch hour and spend the rest of the day working at the office, then it's a 8-minute trip from the office to the bar.
That's not awful.
And I save myself the rush hour traffic all the way down I-5, which is horrible.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's actually why I've been going.
That's not too bad. Okay. Louis, tell me something you learned that you would, other than the rule sets and stuff. What did they teach you about the Yara rule sets? What kind of tooling are they showing you there other than Metasploit?
A lot of, it's basically like the last couple of weeks. It's all like try hack me stuff.
Oh.
Like you mentioned the junior pen testing. So this morning we did SSRF.
Okay.
Those type of things. Like what I told my wife, these are something that I can learn myself. But my wife said, "What, you don't have the accountability."
Oh, you mean they gave you homework like do lesson 5 of try hack me or something?
During the first quarter, there's a lot of, first quarter, it's like the entire day. 6:30 our time till 2:30 our time. So that's how long Zoom was. Sometimes it extends. So it has a lot of team projects, individual projects. So role playing, you role play as a CISO or things. For start, I like what I said earlier. I've learned a lot. Will I learn it on my own? Yeah, probably, but I'll be lazy, so I won't be able to learn as much how I learned with class in a class. So, but at the end of the day, it's the job. I've been role playing as a CISO, let's say, for example, for a week. Now you say that I'm an expert now. Will I end up becoming CISO after this program? No. So, but we touch a lot. At the high level.
Yeah. It's great that they're, if you, it's good to have that accountability, and it sounds like the team thing is also helpful too. You're able to find like-minded folks that can work together and do that stuff. So that's cool. Do you have a study group outside of that? Because my mentee AJ is he's going for his master's at a college up there in the Chicago area, but we're going to be doing the Try Hack Me stuff too. So eventually we'll catch up, or you can potentially join us on our Twitch stream to discuss if that's something that you would feel like you would get something out of, sure. Or if you want to work ahead with us and come back, once you get to those lessons, we can definitely do that.
Sure.
I actually learned something that I didn't know how to do. I was going through some of the lessons myself on the junior pen tester, which shows you how awful I am, about style sheets. And, one of the examples was where you have to bypass the pay wall or whatever, and you can modify areas on the DOM or the CSS to get rid of that block. So I was like, oh, okay. I didn't do that when I was pen testing. I was mostly network pen testing. So, But yeah, these are some excellent discussions. Some tool use would be a great one. Yeah, I can actually do some of that on the regular streams that I have on the during the week here. So Ghidra, okay. I always wanted to learn Ghidra. I always wanted to do reverse engineering, but I never got around to it. It's one of those things where just I didn't have time. So
we also did high level on Ghidra.
Donald, how you doing? What's your interest in information security?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Right now, I'm looking for a job.
Don't be shy. Come on in.
Okay, well.
Water's fine.
Okay, let me change my earphones here. Just a second.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Well, you can't see me because I'm at an odd angle to my computer. And so if I turn on my camera, you'd have a nice
I hope it isn't
my
me.
ear. Well, I'm working on 3 projects.
I can hear him.
Yeah, I can't hear anything. Oh, good.
Can't hear anything?
I was afraid of that. Let me double check my headphones here.
Can you hear me now?
Causing me issues.
Can you hear now?
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, it must have been my Bluetooth dropped out or something. So I'm still learning. I'm still learning the setup. So hey, Donald, how you doing? Thank you for being patient with me. How's everything for you?
Well, let me see here. I'm looking for a job. I graduated about a year and a half ago from Edmonds College.
Okay.
And I have little, let me see here, part-time contract work.
Oh.
And I'm a system administrator contract for a small tutoring company in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And right now I'm trying to, let's see here, building his website and wrestling with how to put a button on the page. But anyway, so I have several projects that are going on. One of which is what was that? My mind is going blank. Let's see here. Ethical hacking with Python.
Okay.
And I found a really good class on Udemy for that.
Excellent.
And then what I'm trying to do is get a SIEM, SIEM, Security Information and Event Management System.
Mm-hmm.
And I found a course on Udemy.
Right.
And but the problem is that let me see here, it's Alien Vault, but that does not that is not compatible with either VMware or VirtualBox.
Okay.
It hangs, and so I told the author about that, and he's building something else. But do you know where a good place I can learn about SIEM by actually building one?
Splunk, doesn't Splunk have a free version if it's under a certain amount of logs?
Ew, Matt, gross. Can't believe you use that 4-letter word around here. Gross.
I should say QRadar, right? I doubt there's a free version.
Splunk is a 4-letter word around here, bro.
You know, a good one that I learned on was Security Onion, and it's gotten significantly better with version 2.0.
Yep. Elk Stack. Yeah, I think the Security Onion 2.0 uses an Elk Stack, which is Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. There's also Helk, I think, which is another one, HELK, which is hunting elk.
That's more it's not like a traditional SIM.
Yeah. That's a hunting platform. So that's threat hunting and all that. But that one looks way complicated. You got freaking Jupyter notebooks and all that trash. Sorry, not trash. Apologize for the Jupyter folks fans around there. Elk Stacks. No, not that.
I've used Jupyter Notebook. That's pretty good for playing with Python functions.
Yep.
especially because it has a dark mode.
Okay. Yeah.
But
So
anyway, where can I learn about actually build a SIEM and learn how it works?
yeah, there's I mean there's a number of places out there.
Detection Lab, look that up. So
Detection Lab?
Detection Lab will build like a whole, I would assume it has some kind of SIM on it, but it builds a whole like network with
Okay.
all the logging you would need. And then if you I'm not sure if it has the monitoring included in it. It must. Let me see.
Right.
One thing I learned about, about sim, I did some like DIY. I've used Pi-hole for Raspberry
Yep.
Pi.
Yep.
So you can start from there and then use Grafana to make it pretty.
Yep.
So
Oh yeah, I don't know, Donald, if you're looking at the. Let me put Detection Lab in here. There's Detection
Yeah, I
Lab.
can see the chat, right?
Yeah, I had actually put those links inside the Twitch stream just so people, when they're following along, will get those. When they watch the video, they'll actually see the log chat as it goes along. So, and then here's some language on what an Elk Stack is, log management platform. Let me see. Let's just do some random Google searching. Let's see. Setup Elk. How to install Elastic Stack, Logstash, and Kibana on Ubuntu 2004. Complete guide to Elk Stacks. Doink. Let me put that one in the chats, just so everybody can hang out and join. There we go. Yeah, I see it. I see it on my screen here. It's gonna jank up here. So apologies to those who are seeing both our Zoom chat and whatever. Mistakes were made. I'm going to figure those out eventually. So Zoom is probably not going to be the best place to do this kind of searching stuff. Let me see. There's DigitalOcean instances. I think you can get probably a free Elk Stack instance that way. How to install Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. I mean, this is the Elk Stack installations seem a lot like the LAMP back in the day when you wanted a cool web server with middleware and a back end. You saw Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP or Perl, or what have you. So there's a number of them on there. So there's. Let me see. Let me make sure I keep parity.
A little bit lost here. Okay, DigitalOcean, is this where I can find building a seam and using one?
Yes.
So what, the thing would be, you need traffic to put, or events to put into it. So do you have a test environment, like a test network or something that you want to kind of practice with? Or are you just trying to learn to use the interface, or?
Right now, the only thing I have is I have two computers. One's a standby. The other one is, let me see here, 16 gigabytes of RAM. And so that's when I installed my VMware on. And so, yeah, it's, right now, I really don't know. So I'm trying to build one first, and probably later on I'll need traffic. I guess.
Yeah,
well, I mean, you can. Oh, go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, because I have done some of the those in test environments. I've employed some of those, so it's not that hard to set up a sim or seam, whatever you want to call it or pronounce it. There are options. There's Splunk. There's I think Elastic has a free one, but it's the harder part is you need servers doing stuff to feed logs into the platform to have anything to utilize. So that's kind of the harder part, is getting all the logging set up. And there is that that detection lab I would look at, because that builds like all the servers and stuff. I haven't used it, but I've done like, it does what I used to set up like manually, and that might be a good thing to look at. And you can set that up in VMware, and you can do that locally, and that might have everything you need.
Where is that?
It's the top link that he put in the chat.
Oh,
Yeah, the one
okay,
at
detection
8:07
lab?
p.m.
GitHub Detection Lab, Klong.
And,
Yeah.
what's that going to get me?
That will build basically a defender lab. So it builds
Right.
like a network with all the logging enabled, so that I would assume you would have to run some kind of attack simulations to get data, but it'll set up on VMware. It has like tooling to set up like whole labs locally in the cloud, wherever you want to run it. Probably
Yep.
locally would probably be the cheapest if you already have VMware. But it'll set up like a whole environment, like basically a network. Like this is like company's network, all the logins feeding in. It had some of the stuff that people were talking about earlier, like Zeek and like Security Onion. The local
Suricata,
security.
yep.
Yeah, so
Well, I'm in there now, detection lab, and so what do I look for?
I would look for like some YouTube videos on how to use it, and like I'm sure that's been presented at like a conference.
Oh,
So I would look
okay.
up I would look up and see like watch a video on how people set it up and use it, because that'll give you a better idea of like will this meet your needs? Is there something you need to add to it?
I already regret putting that link in there. Hold on. Apologies. We're gonna automatically play this thing. I don't know why these are automatically playing, but they are doing so. All right, so here's a detection lab how-to tutorial discussion. Doink. Okay, I can't spell. Detection lab tutorial. There we go. Don't use the google.com one above that there. Sorry for everybody watching the video here. All right. Here's one. You can Google search for other ones. Just detect lab tutorials. Fairly easy to Google for. Or YouTube Detection Lab. There's actually the second link on YouTube Detection Lab is a Detection Lab installation walkthrough that was made a month ago by Chris Long. So apparently it's the creator of the Detection Lab. So
Where's
the creator
that?
of Detection Lab has a walkthrough video that you'll be able to review.
If
And
you-
Hello
talk
everyone,
about.
welcome back to
If you
BT
click
InfoSec.
like
My
the
name
little
is
chat button, it'll be like the chat window will pop
No,
up.
no, I've got
Sorry?
the chat window, but I can't figure out what link it is.
The bottom one, I think.
Oh, the bottom one. Okay. All right. Oh, all right.
Uh,
Okay, let me go ahead and click on that one. Beginner's Guide to Seam.
figure out what-
Is it-
There it is. I hate VoiceMeister. Okay.
The easiest detection AD lab setup. Okay.
Yep.
The easiest
Actually,
detection. What is
if you
AD
use-
lab?
If you use that YouTube link that ends in RFU, capital R, capital F, capital U, that's the creator of Detection Lab walking you through the installation. I don't think it's going to get any easier than that.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, they're using Vagrant and Terraform and Ansible
Now-
to set everything
What is
up.
now?
Okay.
What is a okay? Yeah, installation walkthrough. Okay, great. I will watch that. Oh wow, that's almost an hour. Okay.
Yeah, it's complicated. I mean, building a test environment can be quite complicated, and they've written tooling that automates setting up all the servers and stuff, so that.
Yep.
Because if you want to go and write the automate, like I'm working like on the initial phases, some automation of test environments and stuff, and it's to build it from scratch yourself. It's complicated, and it's very time consuming. So it's
Yeah, no, you don't want to try to, if there's an easy way of doing it, automation, then you should definitely do so.
But-
and Vagrant's pretty good. You install it, and it's pretty much like a Docker. It's like Vagrant install, boom, and then it's like he'll walk you through all of that. And actually now I'm going to reach out to him and see about getting him on the show or getting him on a stream here to talk about this. Chris Long, Doink Detection Lab.
Detection
you,
Lab,
Matt.
is that the
Appreciate
same
that.
thing as a SEAM?
No, it's like, so a SIEM is just a log analytic tool. So it's a central place that you feed logs and security events into.
Oh,
And then it
okay.
has, normally when you pay for a paid one, it has certain detections built into it. Like if there's an unusual number of failed logins or other security issues, but a lot of times you end up writing a lot of custom rules to look for security issues in an environment, like maybe a user account's been compromised and suddenly their account's logging into hundreds of systems within seconds, which is not normal activity. So it's really just an analytics tool and detection tool, but you need to put data into it.
Right.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I just opened that one up, so I will follow that one.
Yeah, sorry, it's a lot to digest, but you don't just wake up one morning and go, "Hey, yeah, I want to install a SIM," because nobody does that at home. So, I mean, and if you do, you have a very damn good reason for needing a SIM in your home. And if you're learning, great. That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a DigitalOcean link there on setting up if you don't have the resources at home, there are free or low cost options if you wanted to set up a droplet. I think DigitalOcean has fairly cheap hosting of assets, but I mean, there's a bit more of a lift there to be able to do routing and stuff of your logs, and you may not want to send those logs over the internet. So there are other options if you want to play around in a cloud environment, but it can get expensive if you don't do it right. Joe Gray. Oh, Joe Gray. Okay, I need to prove him. Oh, son of a bitch.
Okay, so is that the? Let me see here. Which one is that? DigitalOcean, and then there's Elk Stack on Ubuntu.
Yeah, that was setting up an Elk Stack on Ubuntu. That's not the detection lab stuff, but if you I mean that's another type of SIM, but I mean like I said, you kind of need to know what you're doing when you're doing the Elk Stack setup stuff, which is why you should use what Chris Long has there and get it set up that way, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got that. What is a SIM? Great. How the SIM works. Okay. Right. Well, that video is the one I'm looking for, and it's
cool.
Yeah, a lot of the videos that I buy from Udemy, they're usually many hours long, and I digest them about let's see here, about 5 or 10 minute videos a day.
Okay.
That is a lot of information to digest.
Yeah, and if there's no exercises or anything to follow through with what you've learned, retention is going to be a thing as well, right?
Well, that's okay. It's as long as I built it one time, and I can probably find something to feed into it. But the idea is build it and at least build it and get used to the interface, and I get that far, which will be a lot further than most people get, I think.
That's cool. Yeah, my thing, for years I tried to learn how to do programming, and the problem was I would do the exercises, but other than the exercises, that's all I had, and I didn't have any reason to be doing it. I'm not a developer. I didn't come from a line of code, so it was like I can read it, I can understand the data structures, but it's like I don't code. I've had several times where my boss and others have been like, "Oh yeah, you just write a quick little thing for this." I'm like, I don't write code, and worse, y'all don't want me writing code because it will take me forever, and I'll just copy paste from Stack Overflow like you do, and they get silent. What
happens is there's There's another video on on Udemy, a really good one on ethical hacking with Python, and I don't like to write code either, but these are very small modules, and he goes into great depth explaining it and say, okay, those make great projects because I can feed it something and then get an output.
That's great if there's useful. Yeah, I mean, if there's useful, things that you can do with it, or everybody's like, oh, well, you just need to learn how to make a project for this, and I was like, I can Google. There's no original ideas out there. I can Google what I need and use it. I don't need to create my own. I'll just Google for it and do it. There is no original idea on the internet anymore. So, but yeah.
Okay, another question.
Sure.
Hey, yeah, can I connect with you on LinkedIn? I just have I guess your name is BBS Podcast.
No, it's not. It's Brian Brake, but yeah, I can reach out to you online if you'd like. Send me a message on Meetup if you'd like, and we can.
Oh, okay, sure.
Make that happen.
Sure, great.
Don't worry, we're not going anywhere. You can subscribe to the Twitch channel. I'll be on here probably every day for the next 25 to 30 days, because Twitch is like, you need to build your people, you need to build your audience, you need to show people that you're here regularly. So I'm going to try to do Twitch? At least an hour a day every day this month. So
what is Twitch?
It's a streaming service, twitch.tv.
Okay. I'm just getting used to another one. Not Slack. There was a Discord.
Yep, everybody has a Discord on there as well. But yeah, twitch.tv/BrakeSec.
Okay.
And we have we haven't had a podcast for the last 7 years, but I'm starting to branch out a little bit into embrace the video format. So, yeah. So, anywho, yeah. So the idea is we're going to have regular content, like Louis said, tool use. Study groups. I'm going to talk to some of my friends over in Black Girls Hack and see if they want to set up a CISSP study group. That's good for at least, 10 to 16 weeks, depending on how many, domains. I think there's 8 domains still, but a lot of the folks in there took it.
That?
Sorry?
I thought everybody hated the CISSP now.
I find that InfoSec Twitter is a completely different beast than corporate America. And, CEH, I definitely am not a fan of CEH and their tone deaf responses to things that have happened recently, especially, some of the sexism and some of the surveys that they put out. And also, I believe there was some plagiarism done from Alyssa Miller. So, not a fan of them, but I know that there are still people that actually consider CEH to be a good thing. I don't know why, but Security Plus is another one. CompTIA has some fairly decent stuff. So that may be, I'm not going to be going for my CEH or my Security Plus, but, if... every hour that I do one of these is a CPE for CISSP. So, I'm keeping my CISP. I'm not going to get rid of it. And, it's a thing. So
I still say it. I always joke with people. I say that I have like the best cert of all of them, the CISSP, because people like tend to hate on it so much. I didn't get it because like when I got it like years ago, it was like that was the thing I get, right? But
yep. I worked for a government contractor, and it was, you had to have 8520.1 or something certification, and one of them was like, you can get the DoD IAM certification, or you can get your CISP. And I was like, CISP will take me further in my career than a DoD IAM certification will. So, I'd already been doing IT and security for about 8 years, so I didn't feel bad about taking the boot camp that they sent me up to Dallas for a week. I did 15-hour days and took the test on Scantron paper, and I don't know what I scored, but I scored enough to pass. So it's just one of those things where I maintain it. So I mean, I've gotten other certs. I'm a pro side change management professional. What was the other one? Scrum Master and a Product Owner, Agile Scrum Master and Product Owner. I have yet to actually use Product Owner in a normal fashion, but it is what it is. So we can definitely do some Agile practices and Scrums and stuff. I mean, I've got all the books and the work, the change management stuff. I mean, we can definitely do some study groups on that if.
I got a question.
Go ahead, Donald. What's up?
Yeah, you were mentioning about all these other certifications. I tried the Security Plus. I was studying from some material which didn't turn out to be very good, and I just flunked it by about 20 points. So what do you advise for studying for Security Plus?
Actually, I don't have any specific. What book did you use for Security Plus?
It wasn't a book. It was an online class. It was called Beyond Training.
Beyond Training?
DION Training.
Oh. Huh.
I would the official books are a good reference, and then the official practice tests. I like whenever I do any kind of certification, I always at least get like the official book, and then I always take the practice test because it's going to be the most accurate questions to the actual test to see like where you gauge, and then you can go back to the book or course or whatever and brush up on the areas you're weak in. But
and that may be another study group we can do. Security Plus,
Where do you get the practice tests for those? I found some practice tests online, but I'm just wondering where you get them. Matt, I think you said.
I've done a CompTIA certification before, not that one, but I would get it directly from CompTIA, who does that certification.
Oh.
So they if you can, I think, pay to take the test, and then I don't know how much it is to get the practice test, but.
Oh, the practice test from CompTIA?
Yeah, there are like Udemy and other courses that have practice tests, but it's normally the best to get the practice test from the provider of the certification because it's going to be the most accurate.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Let me see. So, and if you've depending on where you might have found those practice exams, there's other places back in the day they used to have CCQ or whatever for CISSP stuff. So Joe, if Joe's watching the stream, I think he says he has a Security Plus study group channel on his Discord. He's working through the book himself right now to become an instructor. So he says the Ascension, which is one of his organization, is approved by CompTIA to teach and instruct. So maybe something I reach out to Joe with in the future, and we'll do a Security Plus instruction for people. So I'm assuming you would have to pay for that, Joe, but I don't know. You can. He has to wait. He's in timeout for about 10 minutes before he can actually post up on the chat channel. But he's hitting me up on my Slack. So, cool. Well, that's I am all in on helping out with study groups and getting the word out there. So if there are other people looking to do various study groups, or if they have ideas for events, or you want to get together and do a CTF, or do some hack the box stuff, I'm all in on that. I can definitely help. I was spitballing $10 to $20 for each weekly 2-hour session. Oh, okay. How many weeks, Joe? He'll get back to me. Anyway, is there anything else we want to discuss? It is 8:30 technically, as many as it takes. Okay, well, okay. I think you're going to need an upper threshold or upper limit on that. So, but yeah, I get your point. Cool. Is there anything else we should discuss or talk about? I do appreciate everybody coming out tonight. We have 6 viewers. Holy crap. say hey and where you're at if you you can. Well, we have more than 6, but it looks like maybe we've got a couple of folks that can't discuss yet. So
Does this group like
go
a
ahead.
Discord, or I mean, how often does this meetup? I mean, meets up.
Oh, you mean the SeaSec meetup? Well, we
Yeah.
meet. Thank you for asking that, Louis, because I did not mention that to the Twitch at large. But we're a monthly podcast, not monthly podcast. We're a monthly meetup. We do meet in person. In before the pandemic, we were actually an in-person meetup. Normally, SeaSec East is the East County. For those of you in the Seattle area, I'm talking Redmond, Bellevue. We've gone as east as Woodinville, during certain times of the year. Ideally, I was actually looking at maybe doing something at Black Lodge in Redmond next month, which would be an in-person event. I mean, they are releasing the masking guidelines in King County, which is Seattle and Redmond and whatever, on March the 11th, I believe. And we did do a couple last year, but they were completely outside and everybody was kind of keeping their distance. I assume next month would be very much the same. People would be keeping their distance. But I'm hoping it's mild enough that maybe we could actually attempt to do something in person. So I'll have more information then. I'd really like to continue doing this on a regular basis, the streams. I guess we lost Donald. I hope he got a lot out of that. So that's it. But yeah, we do it once a month, first Wednesday of the month. Every month, and we're gonna continue doing the stream stuff here. But yeah, I would like to do some in-person stuff before I move to San Diego, and then SeaSec East either gets picked up by someone else and they run with it, or it goes away. So we'll see what happens in March of next year, whenever this is happening, because we'll be selling our house and moving to San Diego, and maybe I'll start up a San Diego security meetup group. So we'll see. But all right, well, if nobody else has anything to discuss, we can adjourn. And I would love to hear some feedback from the attendees here in the Zoom. If you want to send me anything, the crawl, you can hit us up at BrakeSec, which is the podcast Twitter. You can also hit me up on Twitter at Brian Brake, BryanBrake, or you can just respond send me an email or send me a meetup feedback. I'll answer it. So, all right. So let me see. Next month is the 6th of April. So if we do have a SeaSec East, it'll be the 6th of April in person. I'm going to reach out to the Black Lodge folks and find out what we can do there. Otherwise, I'll announce it on Meetup if it's going to be virtual or if it's going to be in person. So cool. Anyone have anything else? Hope you found something useful out of this if you're a Twitch streamer watching, hope Louis, you got something out of this. Please feel free to reach out if you have any other questions, and send me a message on Meetup, and I will get you an invite to our BrakeSec Slack.
Sure, we'll do that. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, well, everyone have a good night. Stay safe, and we'll all talk to you soon. Moved my really need some theme music or something. It seems like I need to have some theme music. So, you doing all right, Walter? What's going on, man?
I was just thinking, if I can remember the theme from Jeopardy. Doom, 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 doom.
I'm working on that affiliate status, so things will change. I'm really excited about this Twitch thing. I think it's actually going to be pretty good. There I am. Cool. I've really got to figure out this Zoom thing though. So,
yep.
But yeah. Joe's got 2 minutes until he can actually speak and chat in the chat window, so that's pretty funny. He has to be invited. He has to be invited to the meetup, but the problem is I can't get into my meetup to invite him. So less than 1 minute. Oh, it's too bad everybody's gonna be gone by the time he gets here. So yeah, no, the one thing they tell you about the Twitch is that you should try to do as much as you can at the start, because they have certain thresholds for path to affiliate, path to partner. And once you become an affiliate or a partner, they'll actually send you money. Money, or how, I don't know how JJ Walker does it on the commercials, but you actually start taking in monies, and I don't know if it's because they put ads in the videos or something like that. I have to figure out. I have to talk to my friend Wimmery, who's doing some of that. So looking forward to
author I like.
Yeah.
Who streams on Twitch 2 or 3 times a week.
Oh yeah.
One for her podcast on I Should Be Writing.
Okay.
And another with I'm just here, and has a lot of the fans of her work.
Yeah.
Will just tune in to have her listen to her chat or otherwise, and they wouldn't be surprised if that's one way she's monetizing.
Yeah.
The fact that she's got a bit of fan base.
Yeah.
And that she streams twice a week at least.
Yep.
And then when she's done streaming, she will swap over and stream somebody playing video games.
Yeah.
And she likes to play Stardew Valley.
Okay. Yeah. See, there's that weird thing here. It's like, there's a lot of people on Twitch that just do nothing but play video games and collect Twitch bits and, doing that stuff. And then there's some science and technology things. And, I don't see a lot of people doing this kind of thing. I mean, there's a lot of folks doing tabletop RPGs on there, which is something else I wanted to do. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do both effectively. And ideally, this is supposed to be a somewhat professional Twitch stream. So I may be blurring the lines here. I've got a couple of friends of mine, Wimmery, who actually does some twitching for doing Burp Suite and Burp Academy stuff. So twitch.tv/Wimmery. And she goes through the Burp Suite Academy stuff, which is really awesome. She watches the videos, and then she has Burp Suite, and she sets up the labs, and does things like brute force logging attempts, and follows the lessons. So I would love to get John Svazik on for Backdoors and Breaches. I have they were selling those at the last DerbyCon. The line at Black Hills was out the frippin' door. And for those of you who've been to the Louisville, not Ramada, but what the hell's the name of the place behind the Hyatt? Marriott. The Marriott. It was around the corner, and it was just crazy. Yeah, the Marriott. Yeah, I actually liked the Hyatt better, but that's only because I did 4 of them, or 3 of them there. So, you know what? I think it might be fun to actually do Backdoors and Breaches on here. I think that would be a game night. I also have. Bear with me. This works better. So I have something that I bought a long time ago, and I think it's called CIA Collect It All. It's a card game. That supposedly was based off of training manuals that were declassified by the CIA as a card game that they played with potential agents. And it was made by the folks at, what was his name? Shit, I forgot. David Clapper, public domain under 17 USC 105. Tech Dirt. So the folks at Tech Dirt made these a while ago, and I have it. I've never played it. So it might be something that might be worth playing online as well. So we could do a game night with Collect It All, and there's different cards like Human, and these are the CIA version as well as new storytelling variant with 170 cards, 67 techniques, 56 reality checks, and 47 crisis cards. Created by Tech Dirt and Diagenetic Games. So might be something worth playing, but I would definitely do a Backdoors and Breaches. I think that might actually be fun. So let me write that one down as well. John Svazik. Backdoors and Breaches.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, what's up?
So I saw you on LinkedIn. Can I send you an invite or like a friend request or something?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, let me see if I can
Are
DM
you? Well, yeah.
What's that?
Well, I think this is you, Brian Brake. Right?
Yeah, that's me.
Sans in Seattle. So I just sent you
Seattle.
one.
Yeah. Let me send this specifically to you, Louis. So before you leave tonight, use this link and get on our Slack. That link will allow you to join our Slack. We have a code of conduct. So also for anybody listening on the stream here, we have a code of conduct. We're a moderated community. We do not suffer fools lightly. We do have, and this is, I don't know if you would call it controversial, but we do have a non-politics clause. So I don't care what your politics are. I don't want you bringing your politics into my space. There are millions of other places where you can, talk your shit. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican or independent or libertarian or socialist or communist or an anarchist or, Green Party or Labor Party or Tory or whatever. We're here to talk security. We're here to talk about, we can talk about legislation, but I don't want you to hear about, these damn Tories or these damn Labor Party people, or whatever. We talk about facts. We self-police. We've had 2 bans in 5 years. If you join us, don't be that person. So, I don't suffer fools lightly, and I don't give second chances. So just something for everybody to remember if you ever join our Slack channel. I will ban you myself.
You just reminded me, I had a interesting security thing with Gmail.
Yeah?
My dad started asking me that a email was being bounced when he sent it to Gmail accounts.
Okay.
Claiming that he was a spammer.
Uh-oh.
I'm like,
that's not good.
That's not good.
Yeah, that is definitely not good. So what happened?
Well, it turns out I had implemented SPF, but not domain keys or DKIM. So I implemented DKIM, and then I set up a DMARC policy.
Yeah.
For the server, so it had SPF domain keys and a DMARC record.
Okay.
And then Google's like, oh, okay. Well, now that you've signed your emails and you have an SPF policy, well, we'll now start accepting the email. And it's like, okay. So I'm like, oh,
yeah. I remember buying a G Suite for a phishing engagement, and that was one of the easiest setups I'd ever seen. I mean, if I can figure it out, I don't want to say anybody can, but I mean that was stupid simple. I mean, setting up DKIM, DMARC, SPF, all of that stuff, just solid. And we'd been sitting on a domain for a while, so it had been parked for about 2 years. So there was no reason for any web server or email server to block it. So it was quite interesting. So
yeah. Oh, actually, there's an interesting thing about the G Suite. If you've got a nonprofit,
yeah.
If you have,
I've got a nonprofit.
If you have a 50, I volunteer for a 501c3.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. You can go to Gmail, you can go to Google, and through their affiliate, get a free G Suite using your 501c3, and they charge you nothing and give you unlimited. Well, they give you 30 gig of disk space and unlimited accounts within the system for $0 a month if you have a if you actually have the government paperwork that you're a nonprofit.
Okay. Yeah, I've got that stuff. I've been paying for our G Suite for the InfoSec Education Foundation for couple years now, since 2019. I mean, it's only
So
like
yeah, so I
$9.99 a month or something, but yeah, I mean,
well, I had them sign up in the sci-fi group I'm with. Has had it for like the last 2 years, and
okay.
they pays nothing. And
Yeah.
we're going to set up some more domains
Mm-hmm.
and just get free G Suite emails to
Nice.
everybody, because it's a charity thing.
Very
And
cool.
so it
Okay.
makes it nice, so they don't have to cough. So we can give everybody an email without having to cough up to pay for the service.
Very cool. Okay. Yeah, I should really take advantage of that stuff. I forget to do so, or to ask them if they. The one thing I would like to see is maybe something less than $1 per person per month for freaking Slack. I mean, I don't have paid Slack because I can't afford it. 2,000 accounts on there. I don't even know if it's the active accounts or if it's the how they charge you for each account. I mean, we have about 500 active users on any time, but it's either $2,200 a month or it's going to be whatever the active accounts are. But yeah, I was looking at the amounts, and they're like, oh, we have a nonprofit version. I was like, do you? Because it's still too damned expensive for me. I don't pull in $2,000 a month, even if it was $1 per person per month. So the only thing you get is the only thing you get is message archive.
The PayPal will give you a 0.5% back on the refactor if you're a nonprofit charity.
0.5% back on what?
You know how PayPal charges you 2.7% to take money using PayPal?
Oh, I did not know that.
Basically,
We don't take money through that.
It's a credit card. Well, it's a credit card factor fee.
Oh, okay.
What we did is we set up the website to take payments using PayPal.
Yeah.
And then I coughed up the 501c3, and they dropped it from 2.7 to 2.2.
Nice.
So if you do take PayPal and you actually have you're an actual nonprofit, PayPal will drop what they charge.
What are you saying? Am I an actual nonprofit? Hold on, man. I got my.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
no,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just jerking your chain. I get.
It's a 501c3. Not all nonprofits are federal. Right. But once you have that, it turns out companies will, in fact, give you discounts just because you have it as a charitable thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I actually I don't understand why we don't have more sponsors. We are a 501c3, the InfoSec Education Foundation. We're an umbrella corporation, not the umbrella corporation, but an umbrella corporation. We have the podcast underneath it. We have this, the SeaSec East is underneath that. The InfoSec campout that we do is under the auspices of the IEF. So, I mean, anybody who comes and sponsors either the meetup or the podcast or the conference, they could take it as a tax write-off. So, if you've got some, fat loot out there and you're a company, or your company does matching or something, and you want to give $250 and they'll match it, we are federally, we have a EIN and everything. I mean, just like the Support Ukraine folks. Don't give to us right now. Give to the Ukraine, like we mentioned before. At the beginning of this, you can donate using PayPal, or you can give them all the cryptos you want from Coinbase, or you can donate via Facebook payment. But they take all of these different kinds of things. So if don't give to us right now. We don't need it. They need it more than we do. So make sure that you donate if you can. So if you're watching this stream, so I appreciate that. Okay, well, I'm going to go. It's been a rough day for everybody here at Casa de Break.
Yep.
So, Walter, thank you for coming, as always. Brett, Louie, all of my Twitch streaming friends, who including Joe Gray from the Ascension right there. If you check out the Ascension organization, you can search for them online. If you have questions or want to learn about OSINT related items, Joe Gray and I are going to be doing something this weekend as well. So keep an eye out on our Twitch schedule here. Same Twitch time, same Twitch channel, and we'll be doing something this weekend to help with the Ukrainian Nova Ukraine donations and trying to raise money for them. So definitely come back this weekend and we'll be on. So, all right, everybody, for serious this time. For serious this time. Have a good night. Thank you for joining our Slack, Louie, and we'll be on next month. Bye, y'all.